Welcome back to WGTV and episode 42. 42, man.
Wow.
42. It's amazing. And, well, that's nothing compared to what we've got to talk about tonight.
Nope.
I could talk for hours. Well, you probably know that already. But I certainly could, because I'd just like to say a huge thank you, as always, to our sponsors, affiliates, and, of course, as always, to our patrons, which I get to add some new names to the list, which is fantastic. So let's start as we always do. So a big salute, thank you very much, to Mr. Sean Ricketts, our Lord and Master of the channel, and then our hardened warriors. I salute you, Mr. Adam Rawson, Mr. Stu West, Mr. Andrew Curry, and now I get to add in Mr. Tim McFall, thank you very much, and our very own Ben McDougall.
It's me.
I finally got him to, put the pressure on, and he joined in. And of course, a little salute there to Mr. Adam Maiden, the local militia as well. So, as always, without you guys, I couldn't do this. And hopefully you're seeing things impress, encouraging me to carry on, get some extra bits and pieces going. And speaking of extra bits and pieces, it's bye-bye to the Galician champions. Bye-bye. That's
time.
It's been fun. We've had our chapter with you. We've fought over champions, and we've had our dices with many times of lurkers below, and
many a sneaky tunnel master.
Many a sneaky tunnel master. Many a sneaky
Desecrate.
Yes, Desecrate's gone.
Yeah,
it's,
everything. Eye for an eye?
Oh
No.
Nothing.
2 eyes.
It's all two eyes. Doesn't matter what you've got now.
No.
So goodbye to you. You're gone, and hello to you. So this is now the new General's Handbook.
I know.
And we're going to have it for a whole year.
It's a long time.
It's a long 12 months.
Better be good.
But yeah, better be. Otherwise, it's straight away. But yeah, we're now the focus. It's all about magic. Magic. That's it. Truly is. So rather than sort of tiny Galician champions, we now have tiny little wizards that we have to worry about.
Tiny whiz-whiz.
Tiny whiz-whiz, which are our nodes, or our those are our new whiz-whiz. Yeah, so it's all about them these days. And primal magic.
Yeah.
Primal magic, the whole new phase of the game that we've got to get used to. So the beginning of each turn, we'll get to roll a dice each. On a 4+, we'll get a primal dice, hopefully, and then you can use it to dispel, or you can use it to cast, and add it to the dice you've already rolled. So effectively, you could be turning a 2 dice cast into a 3 dice cast, just like that. So if you need to force something through, there's new battle tactics. There's eight completely brand new battle tactics, like we were saying. Gone is Desecrate. Gone is Eye for an Eye. It's all new. There's so much to learn. And then on top of all that, 12, not like last time where there was only 6, 12 new battle plans that we must play. What a shame! I hear you cry. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be.
Well, I hope it is. Yeah, I really hope it is. Yeah, because if not, well, this is going to be short-lived, isn't it? But yeah, it's going to be a heck of a ride. And so, for tonight's first ride, we are going to be playing with what are you going to use on the channel for the first ride out of the new handbook? And you're going to use.
I have to. It's the Feck. Fecker back.
The oldest book out there at the moment, but the Flesheater Courts are going to ride tonight for you. We're going to see. Well, you love them, don't you?
Yeah, I love my Feck.
They love everything.
I had to. With the new GHB, I was like,
it's got to happen.
Got to start with a Feck.
So I thought I'd be a little sneaky, and for the channel debut, I would use the Gloomspite Gitz.
Ooh.
I know, yeah. And it's so much fun in the last video with a goddess, I thought I'd try a god this time.
Oh.
So we're going to try a god. So Mr. Craggy himself is going to join us tonight. So that's...
big yikes.
Big yikes. Big yikes. Oh yeah, he loves a bit of it.
It's more flesh on him, right?
There's more flesh on him than on the other stuff, but we'll go through that stuff in a minute. But so 12 new battle plans. So tonight we're going to be playing Spring the Trap. So now with this one, we've got 3 objectives you can see on screen across the centre of the board. The deployment zone is shrunken, so we're 15 inches in from either side, but 13 inches up as there are 9 inches away from enemy territory. But you can have score 1, score 2, score more, so very similar to the old ways, which, you know, and then plus your battle tactic adds 2, which can, you know, take you up to 5 a turn. But in this one, they've added that the attacker at the beginning of the game rolls d3, rolls a dice, and that number of units can start off the board. Then the defender rolls a d3, and they too can take off the number of units that they've rolled for. And these units can turn up from the sides from turn 2 onwards at the end of the movement phase.
Yeah, it's big.
So, bring you back. What do we think of that then? That's
quite spicy.
Quite a bit spicy. Could like sneak off the board and come back in and get a charge in. Especially
with the objectives being right at the very end.
Yeah, so you could come out and cap them straight away, couldn't you?
7.5 inches.
So
you've got to come in. Is it board edge within 6?
Board edge within 6. Yeah. So it could be. So let's go see if we do. Or we don't, because you don't have to.
No, it says can.
Can. And just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Sneaky Gits are sneaking.
I know. Well, let's see in the deployment.
So, Flesheater Courts deployment, and also the list. We'll start off this side. We have one nice big block of 30 ghouls with a Kragnos courtier just hiding in the back. That's one battle line. I then have 3 more battle line with Terrorgeists, because we are Gristlegore, which makes Terrorgeist battle line. To head all this is the General, a Ghoul King on Terrorgeist, and he is fully loaded. He's got the spell Deranged Transformation, so he can add a movement characteristic, add the wounds characteristic to the move. Savage Strike to strike first on a charge. Gruesome Bite to reroll hits with a maw. And then here we have an Abhorrent Archregent atop the throne. He's got the spell Spectral Host to make a unit fly, and if they can already fly, they can run and charge. You can see where I'm going here. And then over here we have 2 endless spells. The Ethervoid Pendulum and the Chalice of Usharan. Now this is basically going to try and heal the Terrorgeist or put lots of ghouls back into the unit. And the Pendulum's just there for mortal wounds, hopefully.
And what's your grand strategy, buddy?
Grand strategy is going to be Baron Icely?
Yeah, trying some of the new ones, aren't we?
Yeah, so basically I have to destroy anything of Adam's with an artifact.
Which is
and
little fella down here.
Control the centre. Have no enemy units within 6 inches of the edge.
Right.
Of the edge of the centre.
Time to tell you about my squigtastic army that I have here.
Squigular.
Squigular, if you like. Squigular. So, we've also gone a battle regiment, and currently it's 1970 points. These prices were correct at the time of shooting the video. These may all have changed recently since we've done this, but we'll have to find out. But for now, that's where we're at, 1970. So what we've gone, as those who know Squigs quite well and those who don't, Squigs are incredibly bitey little creatures. So we've got 1 unit of Squig herders here, reinforced, and we've got another unit of Squig herders reinforced. Now, anyone that knows Squigs knows that these little goblins are the bravest little goblins around for looking after these Squigs. But you know what's braver than someone who prods a Squig? It's somebody who rides a Squig. So here we have a unit of 20 Squig hoppers who they think they are trained cavalry riders, but essentially they've lasted a couple of battles, well, maybe one battle, whilst being able to ride one of these vicious beasts. But you know what's even better than someone who's ridden a squig hopper once? It's one who's survived countless battles hanging on to these little guys, and that's the Boingot Bounders even. So we've got a unit of 5 here, and a unit of 5 just over here. Now leading this merry bunch of teeth is this little fella at the back. This little fella right here, Fungoid Cave Shaman. So his little abilities are the fact that he can't be seen within 12 inches because he's hiding under his big mushroom. He's loving life. And what he's done, because he's general, we've taken with him, we've taken the lovely little, we thought we'd try it just to see how it goes. We've taken the Eater of Magic as his command trait. So therefore, if somebody casts a spell, enemy casts a spell, and we manage to dispel it on a 5+, he eats the spell and it can't be used for the rest of the battle. So we thought we'd try that out, the new command traits. And for his spell, he's actually going to also try one of the new ones, and we're going to try Hoarfrost. Okay, which is a strange one at first, but essentially cast on an 8. But if you get the spell off, then you roll a d3 and you get to change the to hit, to wound, or the rend characteristic of that melee weapon. Which, when you've got a load of boingy teeth that normally pretty much hit on 4s, then if I could change that to hitting on 2s, that would be nice. Equally, I thought we'd try one of the new grand strategies for them. So we're going to try Overshadow. So in this one, we have to have one of our original battle line units, which is everyone barring the fantastic Kragnos, which I haven't forgotten him. He's just not a squig, so you know we don't get to talk about him too much. And therefore, we have to keep one of these units alive. And all of Ben's units that are battle line gone. So we'll see how that works out compared to his. We'll see how one of the new ones goes. I rolled to be attacker. I also rolled that I could remove 2 units from the board. I've elected not to. I think I'm fast enough without it, so I've decided not to. Ben rolled 2 as well.
Yep.
He doesn't like the idea of having 2 units off the board in case I go first. So he's elected not to go with that either. So although it's a new skill, we're not going to do it just yet. And I think as we're so close to each other, and Kragnos is hungry, and everyone's a big bouncy ball of fun, I'm going to go first. Ooh. Squiggy turn 1. Okay, so might have got a little bit carried away, but I think we did okay. Let's have a look. So, beginning of the turn, I rolled a primal dice. That was it, our first time ever. I went for a primal dice, I got one. I was all excited. Ben didn't get his. I tried to go for a command point on Craggy. Didn't get it, but Ben got his on his guy. So there I was scrabbling around thinking, what battle tactic we're going to do. So they've nicely numbered them now. So I went for battle tactic number 4, please, which is magical dominance. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if a friendly wizard unit successfully cast 1 or more spells and none of the spells cast by any units in your army were unbound. Well, I've only got a cheeky little mad cat mushroom guy, so I thought, what the heck, we're in for it now. Let's see. I was within 12 inches of the squig hoppers, and I thought, what the heck, let's go for Hoarfrost. Let's get it on, let's try it. It's cast on an 8. I've got a primal dice. I'm outside of 30 inches. What's the worst that could happen? Fortunately, nothing bad did happen. Managed to use 2 dice, get the 8 already. Didn't need to add in the primal dice. Ben was out of range, so it's cast. That's it. Battle tactic achieved.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So did that, cast it on them, and that's all where it all went a little bit wrong, really. Because then I started to get a little bit excited, because I rolled a d3 to see which stat I could lower, or better, sorry, as it were. So I rolled a d3, got a 3, so I'm now hitting on 2s. So I went for that, stuck it on the big bob of 20, and charged forward. And I hit everything, and I hit a big bad Terrorgeist who initially unleashed hell on me, which killed a few. Then I attacked. I didn't do a lot of wounds. I did some.
6 he took?
I did 6, which didn't even bracket him really, did it?
No,
No.
you need one more to bracket.
Great, and I missed out on that. And then he spiked and went ballistic and absolutely tore into my noble cavalry.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom. Now, the ghouls jumped in as well, because we took out 10 of them, so we did some work on the ghouls, and they hit back, and they didn't do it half, well, they just didn't do anything, did they? Not one wound.
I think I rolled 7 ones.
No wound. Meantime, though, Craggy, enraged by this new handbook and the thought of wizards around, charged across the battlefield, smashed straight into one of the Terrorgeists, and with his mighty charge, he rolled a 5 and a 3, which multiplies up nicely into 15 mortal wounds, avoiding the roll of a 7 so nicely. So anyone that doesn't know, when Kragnos charges, once you've made contact, if you want to, you may choose a monster and roll 2d6. If you roll a 7, or a combination of which adds up to 7, nothing happens. Anything else multiplies up into mortal wounds. So for example, in this example, we rolled a 3 and a 5, so 3 times 5, 15 mortal wounds straight off the bat. Ben saved a couple, left the Terrorgeist with 1 wound. He tried to hit back, it didn't happen. If anything, actually, the only wound that went on to Kragnos was when the Terrorgeist exploded, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when Kragnos is wounded in any phase, at the end of that, he bellowed with rage. He screamed. The Squigs didn't hear, they were too busy being eaten. But number 1 Terrorgeist heard him, he got took. And number 2 Terrorgeist at the back, he heard him, and he got took out for an extra D3 mortal wounds. Meanwhile, Squiggies, sort of, and Squiggies hear it. Shaman moved up a touch, and the well-tuned, well-versed Boingot Browners sort of bounced off left and right, claiming objectives here, there, and everywhere. So we hold all of them. So we hold 1, hold 2, hold more, claim the battle tactic, the new battle tactic, claim 5 points, and let's see what happens next.
Feck, turn 1. We went for the battle tactic bait and trap, which is number 6 on the sheet. And we went for a primal dice. Didn't get primal dice again.
I did.
Yep. We got a command point on my general. So the 3 main things to do. Now, bait and trap is retreat 2 units and charge 2 units. So that was the aim of the game. Starting with a hero phase, we tried to cast a couple of spells, failed both miserably. However, we did get 1 off. My endless spell, the Chalice of Usharan, which I successfully cast. However,
this little fella said with primal dice, no. And on top of that, he has that little ability now to be an eater of magic. So if I roll a 5 up, after I've dispelled a spell, it is gone forever. And I rolled a 5.
no more Chalice. It was only to top the ghouls up and possibly heal the Terrorgeist and stuff if needed. So it's not the end of the world, but could have been quite handy with the amount of models on this table. Movement, I retreated the ghouls out, retreated Pinky up over here onto the objective, and then we moved this Terrorgeist to just around here, and the king to about here. So 2 retreats done, summoned in 3 units of 6 flares over here, garrisoned so didn't have to spend anything, and then we did a couple of screams, did quite a bit of wounds there. Nothing died from it though, like unit wise. And then we had to do charges, so charge the king into here, and then I got quite a good roll, so I got onto the objective, but it meant I blocked this Terrorgeist off. So we had to charge over here, get him in this objective. These two have fought tooth and nail to the absolute brink of destruction and death. It was absolutely awesome to roll. I think I rolled all the King's Talons, all the Skeletal Claws. Adam saved everything with his
So
2.
close, so close. But
There's a couple 1s and then, no, back to 2s. And then when I rolled the Maw, because with Gristlegore, 6 is to hit explode, but with a Maw, you get 6 mortal wounds on a 6.
and you rolled double 6.
Double 6 with a reroll.
Oh.
I didn't need the reroll. So yeah, 12 mortal wounds straight into Craggy.
Didn't save one. Not
No,
one.
didn't get one ward save. So Craggy's now up to 14 wounds.
Very angry.
Still alive.
So angry that I swung back.
Yeah, he swung back hard.
And I left your king with only
2 wounds left. We did 12 wounds each to each other.
Unbelievable.
Absolute colossal.
Just raw. Yeah.
And
That's
then
it.
the Terrorgeist over there killed the rest of that unit.
Yeah. That was the easy one. They just fell over. Those courageous body
Because
rots.
Craggy's still alive on this objective, he counts as 20.
At the moment, even in his dilapidated state, yes, he still does.
Score 3 points for the bait and trap, retreat and charging.
So, dear viewers, very much a time to find out what is going to be next turn.
Oh, I got a feeling I'm going to get bounced.
I think it's going to get Craggy time. Boing! So, turn 2. Wow, thank God I got it. To be honest, I think I completely overcommitted myself, and if I hadn't got that turn 2, I could have been in a whole heap of trouble. So, scratched my little goblin brain and said, right, let's go for a primal dice. Went for a primal dice. Got the primal dice again, put that to one side. Ben goes for primal dice. Failed again. Said to myself, right, gonna need a battle tactic. Looked desperately through new battle tactics and went for, in the end, led into the maelstrom. Battle tactic number 7, please. It was basically you had to charge a hero, charge a battle line. You can charge multiple heroes, you can charge multiple battle lines, but at the end of the phase, they must have made the charge, and also one of those units must be within 3 inches of an enemy unit at the end of the turn. I nearly threw it away, as we can see now. So I tried to go for Hoarfrost again. I rolled 2 dice, and I rolled a 2 and a 1. And I thought, shall I use my primal dice? And I thought, you know what? I won't, because if I roll an additional 1, I'll take a horrible new primal miscast, and I might not be for this world. So we had a look to see what I would have rolled, and I did roll a 1, and I would have had a horrible purge. So glad I didn't. So still got my primal dice. Then we used command point to rally some squig hoppers. We rallied 5 of the 15 back, so I was really lucky there. We thought then at this point, ignore that. Oh, and we also rolled for the moon. The moon decided it wanted to stay here. It did not want to advance, which would have made the rally really good. But I didn't. I stayed here. So I stayed here. The moon is shining brightly here. Didn't get half my Boingot Brounders. Why are they Brounders? Bounders back. They obviously got hit so hard by the Terrorgeist that they stayed in the hole. Meanwhile, we thought, right, if we bounce over the Terrorgeist and get some mortal wounds on 4s, that could kill him. Turns out, when you bounce over with 10 and cause 7 mortal wounds, it does. But he explodes, which took more wounds off Kragnos, who then got angry and screamed at everyone around him, including the Boingot Bounders, done it again, Bounders, BBs. They took a wound. The Terrorgeist that was stood here took damage. These squigs thought, what the heck, we'll charge him. Kragnos charges in. But Kragnos has to do his special impact. So he charged him, then he picks up his 2 dice, and my. He double sixes it. And the poor Terrorgeist took 36 mortal wounds from the rear. He didn't stay. But he too exploded and caused another mortal wound on Craggy, who then, at the end of this phase, bellowed at everyone else again of our own units. Because it turns out, with the Terrorgeist gone, and Kragnos now engaging with the ghouls, and the squigs engaging with the ghouls, it leaves no ghouls left. Fortunately, we'd been panicking, and we threw the squig hoppers into the shrine with the Archregent in, because we thought, they're not going to kill him. He's in a building. They're hitting on 5s. 4s really, it's so hard to do. Won't get anything through. They went absolutely ballistic and caused an horrendous number of wounds, of which Ben then decided not to save any of them. Nope. And even his shrugs. And we got the wounds that we, would have normally needed, 7, and he fell over. So then all of a sudden, the battle tactic's in danger. I've got no one in combat at all. I've got squigs here eating the remains of the ghouls. They're going to run away to battle shock. But fortunately, just fortunately, because the little gingang ghouly little crypt guy, Tiny Tim, was just hiding behind them, they sort of piled round, engaged within 3 of him, and everyone took a sigh of relief and went, oh, we got the battle tactic. By the gods, by the skin of our teeth.
It was mighty close.
It was mighty close, because if it hadn't been for that little guy being nearby and we could have piled near towards him, we'd have completely thrown that away. As it is, somehow, we've still got score 1, score 2, score more, and we get this brand new battle tactic of led into the maelstrom. And my God, did we go into a maelstrom, which gives us the 10 versus the 3. This is now Flesheater Courts turn 2. And we'll see how we get on. Yeah.
Flesheater Courts turn 2. Not a lot to do. Turns out Destruction's army are very destructive. So, battle tactic is reprisal. We have to kill the unit that killed our Lord and Saviour King, the General. May he rest in peace. Went for a command point. Got it, because on a 2-up. that was it. No real hero phase because can't really do anything. So stropped. Yeah, I did strop. I stropped straight into my movement phase. Bring in these guys over here, and Adam crucially didn't redeploy these because he was expecting a Terrorgeist to come flying over. So I kept the Terrorgeist 9 away just in case I needed a good charge. I didn't need to charge. Terrorgeist here screamed, and with Bravery 4, and I rolled an 11. It's quite a lot of mortal wounds when you add the difference from the Bravery T dice roll.
It really is.
So Terrorgeist did 7 mortal wounds. One of the flares did 7 mortal wounds, and then 2 other flares did 5 more mortal wounds each.
Oof.
So I killed them before I even got to charge them. I was considering a nice 11-inch charge into Craggy here, because he only has 4 wounds left, but Feck's about to win the double turn here. I'm calling it.
So at the moment...
Well, only 3 points again, hold 1 and battle tactic, so puts me on 6 to 10.
Here we go, people.
Feck with a black dice going for the double, yeah!
Oh.
Feck, turn 3. We've gone for the battle tactic Intimidate Invaders, which with this one you need to have more units outside your territory than inside your territory. So for example here we have got 1 in my territory because the territory is like this, and I've got 3 outside, so I've got more outside than in. So nice and simple. I've got that battle tactic sorted right there. As for that was it really. This Terrorgeist screamed into here and rolled a 1, so they only took like 4 mortal wounds. And then, because Adam kindly rolled a 6 on his battle shot there, I ended up taking 2 mortal wounds back. So it was a nice trade considering I didn't want to charge. Kinda wish I did now. And then so 2 for the battle tactic and 1 for holding the objectives gives me another 3 points.
No, we're good.
Yeah, going into Gitz turn 3.
Boing, turn 3. Okay. Starting to feel a little bit more confident now with it. Craggy went for healing himself again. Managed to do it. Got a couple more wounds back. And we decided what we're going to go for this time. We thought, we'll not use any of the new ones this time. We'll jump, if you see what I did there, back to the book, see what we've got. And we went for Follow the Moon. The moon had moved into the centre, so all over the board is bathed in beautiful moonlight. And all we have to do is control more objectives whilst every unit is under the light of the moon. And as we all are, and we control the 2, we figured we'd go for that one. We also went to cast... we got a primal dice again, loving that. Went for Hoarfrost again to cast it onto this little unit of bitey balls of death themselves. Cast it on 7, but then picked up the primal dice, rolled another 2, took it up to 9. Ben had nothing to dispel, and we rolled and we rolled a 5, so we added the rend characteristic. So we put the squigs up to rend 3. So we figured when we went in to charge the Terrorgeist, he'd have no save, shrugs only, and we should be able to do enough bitey death. So with a combination of Craggy, who actually, I thought, I got cocky, I thought, oh, all the other times he's charged, he's just wiped out a unit as soon as he goes in with this thing. Went in, did his hit. Of course, what did I roll? I rolled a 7. So we didn't get the big monstrous wipeout that we love so much. So we relied on the squigs, and yeah, with all the bite attacks, they dragged the poor Terragast down by weighted numbers. But as it exploded, yet again, Craggy is wounded. Yet again, more squigs perished. Unit of Archives were wiped out by Craggy himself, but he bellowed with rage again and shouted at some more squigs as he was desperately upset that it had all gone wrong. But this has taken him now back to 15 taken. He's been up and down, but he's been a little trooper. He's been taking it. He's controlled that whole centre. I got to admit, I didn't think he could, but he's done it really well. We've let Tiny Tim live. We've moved him there. We brought Tiny Tim. We brought the squigs back. And then, speaking of other squigs, at the end of the turn, ta-da! We brought half a unit back that had died previously. So, comes back, beautiful, 10 boing round. Bounders, no, these are the squig hoppers. Yeah, squig hoppers came back. So we got them back. So quite happy with that. Score 1, score 2, score more, and got the battle tactic under the light of the moon, taking us to 15. And now, let's find out if we can take turn 4 as well. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a double 6! Double 6, but Ben went first last time, so...
I'm going to have to take it, just try and score some points. So, my turn 4. There wasn't many battle tactics I could do, so we went for...
Building up the tension.
Yeah, are you ready?
Here it comes.
Went into the maelstrom.
There we go.
So we had to charge a hero and a unit and keep one alive. As you can see, nothing.
Nothing is alive.
I have nothing. Oh, did I say it was my turn? So I had the 3 flares, charged them into Craggy, thinking with 4 wounds left, 6s to hit doom mortals, with 4, 8, 12, 13 attacks. I might have rolled some 6s and some could have got through. No.
0.
Absolute
0. Nothing. Not a thing.
Which meant poor Tiny Tim, who charged nobly into these squigs.
They ate him.
Yeah, just obliterated. There's Tiny Tim remnants everywhere.
Ooh. Meanwhile, Craggy.
Still alive. Smashed the flag off the table.
Did give you that objective still.
Yeah, so I've scored 1. So hey ho, double figures. Woohoo!
But
however, let's go to the conclusion.
Conclusion time. So, new book, new fun, new tactics.
Yeah.
But we were playing, in fairness, we're probably playing a very, very old book versus a very, very new book.
Yeah.
And I think...
With all points.
With all points, yeah, just in case they have gone up or down or whatever we've done, Ben may get another 500 points.
Yeah.
And I think, desperately, to be honest, the fact could maybe do it. But it was fun to try a new scenario.
Yeah, it was
new
great.
Tactics, working out orders and the primal dice.
They're going to make such a difference. If you've got a magic heavy army and you keep getting them...
And you can just load it into a spell. Yeah. I mean, trying to dread to think of the types of spells that people could use on so many options.
It's crazy.
It's bad enough half the time when heavy casting armies get 2d6, say, +3 to cast. But if you're then rolling 3d6,
Yeah.
4d6.
And you're next to arcane.
And it just...
You might get a bonus for being
Exactly.
next to a character.
It just gets crazy. It's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see where people spike and people don't. The dispelling as well, I think there's going to be key moments to where to do things, because tactics that sound easy to do, like the Seek and Destroy, which obviously once Ben had been tabled, we moved on. My next turn would have been, I'd have chosen Seek and Destroy, which was basically 3 units wholly within 6 inches of a different table edge.
Yeah.
One of them can be within your territory.
Yeah.
So Squig Hoppers came down to the side, Squigs moved to the back, and the bounders that haven't moved since they moved up from turn 1 just jumped over to the edge.
Yeah.
And then my turn 5, I was going to go Glory Hoggers, I think it is, Glory Seekers, where a unit that's come back from the shrine takes an objective that the opponent controls. Ben, still technically speaking, had the one down here, and they'd hop up on there, take that back, and then that's done. Key moment, I thought, to be honest, I probably should have not been so keen just to run forward. I probably should have screened Craggy out with some squigs and given you the turn.
Maybe, but I don't think... I think how aggressive you were at the very start kept me in my place. I couldn't come out as much as I wanted to.
I guess it pegged you in a bit, didn't it? You lost 1 Terrorgeist immediately.
Yeah, because if I had the 4 Terrorgeists all screaming into something...
That's true.
Only Bravery 4, 3 and 5.
Just deleted.
Yeah.
That's it, they would have gone. Whereas I got rid of 1 and... Yeah, that's very true. So, I shouldn't really complain.
I went for Glory trying to kill Craggy.
That was the key moment. If you'd got him, it could have used it. Well, the key moment was the fact of you were going to go for fighting again, weren't you? But Craggy roared you.
Yeah,
so you couldn't fight twice.
Commands.
So literally, you slapped him down to almost death. He slaps you back to almost death, and then the key moment, I then win the priority.
Yeah.
Which allowed me then to kill your king, rather than if you'd taken the priority, you'd have killed, if you like, my king.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I haven't got something on the board that can just delete a Terrorgeist in a second.
Yeah.
You'd have been around screaming, like you say, doing all the rest of it. So although it did feel a bit heavy, one-sided, there was that moment when the pendulum just swung straight over.
Like we said, the FEC having such an old book.
Yeah.
Like
you had nothing
battle tactic options were horrendous.
They're absolutely great in comparison to the ones that I could, pick and choose.
Yeah, like stay under the moon.
Yeah, stay under the moon, stay out of the moon, have a look at the moon, talk to the moon. So, it does add in so much easier. But interesting with the little wizards and things. It's gonna be very interesting with the battle plans and things, how it plays out, and the way people just will use it and get used to it. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Yeah, and it was nice to play with another god model. I enjoyed playing with another god model. He was amazing.
He was very good.
I know that he only has 18 wounds, but a 2-up save and just the ability to. He doesn't really degrade that badly.
No.
Really, the movement maybe a little bit. He's going down. But in terms of like his attack profiles, if you still go into him, he still swings and hits. He really does.
Like the god of destruction.
Yeah, and he loves playing with these little guys. These little guys love watching him. It was scary at first watching how quickly the squigs just die. They just they vanish and then
bring 10 back. Add more of the squid.
Yeah, add a little bit of this.
And you could rally out a 4 potentially.
If under the light of the moon. Yeah, that's right. So for the other ones, so there would have been time. So yeah,
definitely got legs.
It's got legs. It's almost like a lot of people use them. Yeah, I can see the power. What do we think of the new spells and things? And
that is it Hawthorne?
Hallfrost, the one where you could change a statistic.
That's big.
Yeah, I mean, it was in obviously squigs normally either can't hit or they've got the right amount of attacks. So they're a prime example of if they're if you change one of their statistics, they're like a zombie, aren't you? If you change the statistic, they've got all the millions of attacks, but
Yeah.
you all of a sudden, if their end's better, the to hitting's better, the to wound's better, so anything like that.
I think because you get to do it in the hero phase,
Well,
you're not
yeah, spell,
relying on anything.
You know you've got it
later
or
on.
you've not. Yeah.
So
That's
you can set something up.
massively.
A
Can't
nice
you?
bait and switch.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 minute they're thinking, "Oh, I'm stuck amongst a little tar pit. Oh my goodness, the tar pit's quicksand. And
Yeah.
that's it.
gone.
You're gone. That's it. Yeah. You could be in big trouble. Yeah. It's the scenario though. Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
It's very close. I can see a lot of them being really in your grill. There's going to be a lot of, just. I mean, we were 18 inches apart then. Some are even closer.
Yeah.
It's
I
going to
wonder
be.
what would have happened if we'd have taken models off with a D3 at the beginning. Because I could have taken 3 Terrorgeists off.
Yeah, you could have done. Well, 2 you rolled 2. You could have taken 2. But like you said, you'd have not been allowed to bring them till second turn.
End of movement
phase. So actually, I'd have had 2 turns by then.
Yeah.
And you'd have had
nothing.
Not that that's changed anything.
No.
But you'd have potentially. I mean, that would have, like you said, if you'd lifted 2 off, that would have left you with what the king and one other. Would it have been king and one other? Depending on which one you lifted off.
Yeah, Ghoul King, Terrorgeist, and 1 Terrorgeist.
But yeah, that could have then allowed me to swarm the board, or worse still, potentially I could have jumped along the edge of the board and started screening things out.
Yeah, true.
And then you don't even get to come on where you want to come on. That could have been another potential, And should I have taken things off? I mean, as it was, I don't know. Things maybe didn't get to where they wanted to get them till they needed to. Not really sure. It'd definitely be one to think about. I think it sort of does depend on what you're facing, and if you've got some of those excess troops to do it, might potentially help you with a battle tactic of that. Was it intimidate the invaders, where you get out of out of your deployment zone? Maybe it'd give a chance to move a couple of slow moving units off the board so that you can jump out, maybe.
And the one where you got to be on the board edge as well, potentially.
Although you've got to be on the board, you can't have somebody not stood on. You had to start on that turn on the board, so it couldn't necessarily be that one. But yeah, it could later on. It could help you to be around the board in different areas. It will be situational. Yeah, if you're against a gun line, you might want to pick off, wait, come in on the sides, have the chance then of an alpha strike type thing and charge in there. It will be situational. It just sort of didn't work for us there. It wasn't something we were taking at that moment in those armies. But yeah, maybe in other ones we'll see sort of how it goes with it. Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed that as much as we did. We've got a lot more to come now. With more coming up, and we'll learn more. Please comment, like, subscribe, Patreon, join Ben.
Hit the little bell, so every time we post a video, you get a notification.
That's it.
It's always a good one.
That's always a good one. We like that one. And like I said, loving the comments that are coming in. Love to reply to them. So we'd love to hear about more of what we can do for you and what we can bring you in the future. So I think until next time, bye.